Welcome to day 102 of our BU 365-day challenge to do one thing every day that improves us. This month, this segment, we're focusing on our spiritual well-being. And today's topic is one that's near and dear to my heart, and one that I, like everyone else on the planet, probably had to learn through some bumps and bruises along the way. We're going to talk about show, don't tell, and I'm going to share 23 different ways, 10 areas of our life in 10 ways that demonstrating is more important than telling, right? Actually doing and taking action and proving what we think and feel and believe is more important and goes a much longer way in getting us where we want to be in a relationship, in a business, in a personal development standpoint, in an organization, anything, any area and aspect of our life, especially spiritual, but not only spiritual, all the areas and aspects of our life, right? It's important to follow up our words and our thoughts and our feelings and our beliefs with actual action. I think we've talked about that probably dozens of times, if not 100 times already so far, because we have an action item every single day. We have an action item every single day for a reason, because we can think about things and then we'll forget about them because life will get busy and in the way. But if we take action toward it, it'll move us toward what we want. And then the next time an opportunity comes up, whether we're doing it purposefully or not, we'll take action toward what we want. And we get what we want a lot faster that way. So what are some of these ways? What are some of the areas? Let's talk about, I was going to share the 13 ways that we can actually demonstrate this to other people, like in relationships or in business, etc. But I think I'm going to talk about the 10 areas and aspects of our life where this can really show up the most. And we have to demonstrate this. And one that I noticed, let me see, it's kind of on here, but not specifically, is the first thing I think of when I think of actions speak louder than words, it's being a parent or being a leader, being a manager, being a business owner or a leader in your organization. And that's, to me, pretty much the same thing as being a parent. We need to demonstrate the behavior and the actions and the attitude and the emotions and the feelings and the sense of urgency and motivation. We need to demonstrate that to other people. We can't expect them to have it if we don't have it ourselves. So what are these 10 ways first? And then we'll go to the 13 more specific ways that we can show that our actions speak louder than our words, that what we do actually backs up and is more important than what we say or what we say we're going to do. A lot of people say they're going to do things and they never follow up. They never actually do them. One of our biggest examples of this bad behavior wise is, what's her name? Jen Psaki, the current press secretary or press lady that does the daily briefs for the White House. She says she's going to circle back all the time. Now, I think she stopped saying that because she got so much heat for it, because she never, ever, ever followed up on any questions she's been asked. She said, well, let me circle back on that. And then she would never do it. And I think that she will be forever known as the circle back girl, because that's the prime example of how you don't want to behave. And, we know that she's not telling the truth in the things that she's saying in her briefings. So don't be a circle back person. I actually cringe when I hear the expression circle back, because that's somebody saying, oh, I'm going to circle back. Let me circle back on that. You can say, yeah, I'm going to let you circle back on that. But if you don't hold them accountable to following up and actually doing what they say they're going to do, they'll actually never do it. It's just an excuse or a reason or a lie to put off having to deal with the situation that they find difficult or they don't want to deal with, right? So what are these 10 areas? Number one, big general business goals, big career goals, big goals in our life are not the number one way, but a way that we need to make our actions speak louder than our words. If we say we want to become something, then we need to take steps to becoming that. We can tell people, but then if we never take any action to move toward that thing that we say we want, or that person that we want to become, or that role we want to fill, if we never go for it, then we're not demonstrating that actions speak louder than words, right? We're just saying things maybe to appease people or to get them off our back. Yeah, Mom, I'll do my homework. But you have no intention of doing your homework. Guess what? That would be an example of not achieving your goals and not having your actions speak as loud as or louder than your words. Apologies are another area where our actions need to speak louder than our words. You might do something or make a mistake and be sorry for it, but if you don't follow that up with the appropriate action, it's just a hollow excuse and hollow words. And words can be very hollow. Respecting yourself and other people, our actions show the world what we're really thinking and feeling about ourselves as well as other people. The golden rule is a great example of where our actions need to speak louder than our words. Mentorship. I've been a mentor to literally hundreds of people, and I've had dozens of mentors throughout my life and career, and it is a two-way street, and our actions need to speak louder than our words. We need to commit to that relationship just like any other relationship and make sure that our mentor or our mentee is getting their needs met. Otherwise, it's not a relationship at all. Teaching is a great example of where our actions need to speak louder than words. I would like to say politics would be a good place for our actions to speak louder than our words, but that's definitely not being demonstrated in our current society. Emotional control, very good one, especially that one when raising kids or when being a leader in any type of organization. We need to demonstrate emotional control. We can't just say we all need to have emotional control and teach courses on it and make everybody go through a certification program on that they got trained and get their little box checked that they've had emotional control training, and then they just behave the way they've always behaved. Accountability is a good one. I mean, we need to demonstrate that we are, and I would say responsibility, personal responsibility and accountability, not just accountability. Arguments, we need to demonstrate, and we need to have our actions speak louder than our words. If we want people to treat us with respect in arguments and we are disrespecting them, that's not matching. Our words and our actions aren't matching. And the final one on this list is listening. Listening is a huge area where our actions need to speak louder than words. If we want people to listen to us, guess what? We have to listen to them. We have to be active listeners in the conversation and actual participants. We can't just talk, and then never listen. Same is true with teaching, right? Teaching, we need to listen to the people that we're teaching to find out if the message that we're sharing is actually hitting home or if we have to find different ways of explaining with it. I would think storytelling might go on that list too. And I'm sure there's a lot of other things that could go on that list, but it's just a quick list. So now what are 13 specific ways that we can demonstrate and show that our actions speak louder than words? Number one, pay attention. What are you paying attention to? The things we're paying attention to, if we listen, and pay attention and look at them, they are showing us what we're spending our attention on. And is that what we want to spend our attention on? Our actions speak louder than words. When people speak, and this is, again, the communication, when people speak, are we listening to them, or are we looking at our watch, or are we looking around, or are we looking for somebody else to talk to? Are we actually paying attention to them and active listening, or are we off on Zozo land, or our minds going 100 miles an hour in other directions because we have more important things to do? Well, then we shouldn't be having a conversation. Hey, George, I'd love to talk to you about that right now, but my mind is in 5 other places. Can we set a time to talk about that? That would be much more respectful than pretending you're listening, then never hearing anything, and then George calls you 2 days later to talk about something that you committed to, and you have no idea what he's talking about. Number 2, and this would probably be 22 if we want to count that way. Remember things about other people, about their businesses, about their families. It's all about a two-way street in relationships. Treat people the way you want to be treated. That's the golden rule, right? And not just tell people you'll treat them the way you want to be treated, or say you're going to treat people the way they want to be treated. Actually demonstrate that you treat people the way you want to be treated. And then don't be disappointed and don't have different expectations if people treat you exactly the same way you treat them. If people are treating you in a way you don't like, that is to show you something. Now, there might be something literally wrong with them. They might just be jerks or bullies, but it also might mean that you're playing the victim and that you're allowing people to walk all over you and victimize you. It's always, all of our interactions, all of our experiences are to teach or show us something. The good, the bad, and the ugly, as well as the awesome experiences. Number 3, be honest. I say be honest with yourself and with other people. Better to be honest and say, hey, that isn't a priority for me. I don't have time for that right now. My schedule is booked, than to pretend you're going to make time for somebody or something and then never be available or never answer your phone or ghost them. Number 4, do things without being asked. Just help people out. If you can pitch in and do something, do it. That's a great way of demonstrating by your actions and speaking much louder than your words. Oh, and I'm going to share a personal example with this. I have a sibling who offers to help all the time. I have all sisters, so you don't know who I'm talking about, but all the time offers to help, offers to help, offers to help, but then never actually does it, never actually follows through. And it's like when we have a problem and we buy a product, we buy a book, or we buy a course, or we sign up for a course, and we never actually take the course. We never actually read the book when it comes. But we think that as soon as we've taken some action to solve the problem's solved. Yet the problem isn't solved, right? It's not solved. It's still there. Same type thing. Do things without being asked, but do what you say you're going to do. Oh my God. Don't say you're going to do something. Don't commit to something if you're not going to do it. And really check. We need to really check ourselves sometimes. Oh, I'll load the dishwasher later. And then if you never ever load the dishwasher and someone else has to come around and do it, you're not doing what you say you're going to do. Your actions are not speaking louder than your words. You're thinking that your words are enough, and they're not. Number 5, make time for other people. Make time for the people and the places and the things that are a priority in your life. Also, make time for yourself. Taking care of ourselves and demonstrating that is one of the best examples we can set for other people. Number 6, give gifts or surprises. Remember, gifts don't have to be super duper expensive. They just have to be something that's important to or would be of value or delight the other person. So maybe it's a sticker. Maybe it's anything with a unicorn on it for my granddaughter. These little silly chocolate coins. She loves them. And I don't know, they didn't cost much at all, but she loves these little, she gave these to me. She thought that I needed them back, but I gave her a little bag of unicorn coins and she loved it. So it doesn't have to be a big deal. A lot of times it's just watch a movie with them or pay attention to them, or for the grandkids, just cuddle them. Give somebody a hug, things like that. Number 7, treat them to things. Treat them to unicorn coins. Treat them to something that would make them feel good. Maybe it's go for a walk. Maybe it's go to a movie, go to a park, go to a playground. Okay, I'm talking about grandkid mode. Maybe it's take them out to dinner. Maybe it's buy them a cup of coffee, right? Something that would make them feel special. And it's showing them, it's demonstrating to them in a physical form that you care about them, right? Number 8, introduce them to your family and friends or business associates. If we're talking about business, give referrals, share your resources with other people. I'm talking human resources and service providers and things with other people in your network. Build a huge network and then share that network with other people. That would be an example of our actions speaking louder than our words. Number 11, be reliable. Do what you say you're going to do. That's a huge one for me. Number 12, step out of your comfort zone. How many times have we talked about that? How many times will we talk about that this year? Probably dozens and dozens and dozens. Why? Because nothing changes if we don't change. Nothing changes if we stay in our little comfort zone bubble all the time. And number 13, plan for the future. Make sure that you are future pacing, looking forward, not just talking about it, but demonstrating that you're doing things to move forward and plan for the future. Having goals is a perfect way to plan for the future, right? If I've got a goal in our spiritual area of our life or any area of our life, that means I'm planning for the future, because I don't set a goal if I'm not planning on achieving it, right? I mean, I suppose some people do, but I definitely don't. So what's our action item today? Our action item is to think about these things and realize that people, everybody, and everything is there to show us something. People will tell us and show us everything we need to know about them. But here's the rub. We have to be willing to see it. We have to be willing to look. We have to be open enough to and curious enough to see the people that are right in front of us. This was a very hard learned lesson for me personally. I got burned by my ex-husband, by a couple business partners, really, really bad business partners, and just some other people in my life in different situations and scenarios and experiences, because I had my rose-colored glasses on, and boy, mine were really dark rose-colored, and I was only seeing the good in these people because I want to see the good in everybody, right? But sometimes people are showing us exactly who they are, and who they are isn't a match for who we are right now. And that's some of the ways that we get hurt. So I want you to just share in the comments below one way that your actions speak louder than words. One thing that you do that shows that your actions speak louder than words. Maybe you have a habit that is improving your spiritual well-being or your communication or your self-care, whatever it is. Share something in the comments below that demonstrates, that you use to demonstrate that your actions speak louder than words. And if this is a huge area for you and you realize, like I do in some areas still of my life, hey, my actions don't necessarily speak louder than my words. What might I do to make sure that they're a match? Or how about if I just be quiet and don't say anything and just let my actions speak for myself, right? And then I'm showing everybody who I really am. And it's up to them to see it, I guess. It's up to all of us to see what we want to see. All right. Questions about this? I think this is a really fun topic. I guess I started talking about it during COVID. Actions speak louder than words, and how we treat ourselves and other people. It really, it's like looking in a mirror. When we look in the mirror, do we like what we see? And if we don't, nobody's going to change it but us. And that's what this challenge is all about. It's about doing one little thing every day to actually move us toward our goals, create the life that we want, and make it automatic and effortless. Because if we do a little thing every day, we get huge cumulative results in who we are by the end of the year, who we are by the end of the month, who we are by the end of the day sometimes, or the week, because we're purposefully doing a little thing every day to make our life better, to make the world better. All right. Have an awesome day. I will be with you tomorrow. Bye.